Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Flow of Consciousness YouTube channel. I'm currently sitting at the Dolomite Mountains here in Italy and the views are absolutely amazing. Like, I can't believe that this place is actually real. Now, what I want to talk about today is the fact that we all tend to be a little bit unkind to ourselves sometimes, right? Especially when we feel like we made a stupid mistake. We are the first to call ourselves an idiot or a stupid person, right? Let's say you're driving down the highway and you miss an exit. You're the first one to call yourself an idiot. You're the first one to call yourself stupid for missing that exit, right? Another example, I remember cooking something and I had my plate and I was walking to the kitchen table to start eating and I dropped it on the floor. And the first thing I said, you stupid. You're stupid for dropping that food. Stupid you, right? And it's actually something that we all do automatically almost. We all take for granted almost. We just do it in an instant. In so many different situations, you hit your toe against the table. You stupid. Why can't you just pay a little bit more attention? I do this all the time. And it got me thinking that, wait a minute. Is this actually a good thing to do? Is this actually the smart choice? Let's imagine you cooked some delicious food together with your friend, right? And you're sitting at the kitchen table and your friend is bringing the food and they drop some food on the floor. Would you be the first one to call them an idiot for that? You idiot. Can't you just pay a little bit more attention, be a little bit more careful? Of course not. You would be like, oh, it's okay, let me help you clean up the mess and we will just cook something new or whatever, right? You would forgive very quickly because it's your friend and you don't want to be an asshole to your friend and you care about your friend and you understand that people make mistakes. The same thing, if you would have cooked the food and you would have dropped the food on the floor and your friend would be the first one to call you that, oh man, you're such an idiot. Can't you just be a little bit more careful? You'd be like, well, sometimes people drop food on the floor or you make a little mistake. I wouldn't necessarily call myself an idiot for that. So maybe you could chill out a little bit, right? You would probably not want to be friends for too long. Yet we call ourselves names all the time for doing random things that people just do. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you make mistakes. You're not an idiot for that. And you can understand that if your friend would call you an idiot for making such a small mistake, you would probably not want to hang out with that person. Same thing if you would call your friend an idiot for missing an exit or dropping some food on the floor. He or she would probably also not want to hang out for too long with you. So the friendship will not be maintained simply because you can't forgive, simply because you are being an asshole. Of course, you can joke about it a little bit. That's totally fine. It actually adds some humor to the situation, which can help to relieve some of the shame you might feel if you drop a full plate of food. I mean, I can imagine myself being a little bit embarrassed if I drop a whole plate of food and we just spend a lot of time cooking it. But then cracking a joke will immediately relieve that embarrassment, right? Now, think back to how you call yourself names whenever you make a small mistake or you do something considerably stupid. Try to see this from the perspective of your friend. Do you really want to spend so much time with someone who is constantly calling you names? I know I actually don't want that. So I came to the realization that, hold on a second. Do I really have to call myself an idiot for dropping some food on the floor, for missing an exit, for making a mistake that everybody makes sometimes? Do I really have to? And what can I do instead? Now, the first step is to become aware when you do it. Because so many of us, myself included, we do it subconsciously, instantly, without thinking about it. You idiot. Immediately, right? So becoming aware is the first step, because once you're aware, you have a choice. And you can decide to not call yourself an idiot and instead say, oh, it's okay, people make mistakes. Let's move on. Let's clean up the mess and cook something new. Maybe it was even food that I didn't really like, and so now I have the opportunity to cook something more tasty. Who knows? There is always opportunities in the mistakes you make, especially if you learn from it, if you move on from it, if you can draw something from the mistakes you made. And forgiving yourself is really important because it will show you that you are someone you can actually enjoy spending time with. Imagine a friend who is really understanding when you make a small mistake, who is like, oh, it's no big deal. It happens. Let me help you. And we can do something more fun afterwards. You would love to hang out with that person. You would love to spend time with them because they make you feel good after you made the mistake that you feel maybe even embarrassed about. So you can become that person for yourself. You can be a little bit more kind, more gentle with yourself. Imagine a child. They make a mistake. Would you chastise them? Would you judge them? Would you be angry because they made a mistake? And let's imagine they make that mistake a second time, a third time, a fifth time, a 10th time. Okay? They're slow learners. Would you still be mad and angry with them? Of course not. You want that child to learn something in a healthy, supportive environment. And sometimes some children are slow learners. Well, here is a radical idea. You're still that child. You're still that child that's making mistakes. So be a little bit more kind with yourself. Be gentle. You can be firm but gentle. You don't have to be judgmental. You can be careful with yourself. You can guide, direct, right? You can correct mistakes firmly but gently. It doesn't mean that you have to see through your fingers all the mistakes you make constantly. No, because it's really important to learn from your mistakes. But small little practical things that you mess up, that's not a big deal. You can be kind with yourself. You can forgive yourself for doing these things, for making these mistakes. And once you become that person who becomes aware, first of all, of their judgments, who then lets go of the judgments and who chooses love, who chooses forgiveness, who chooses kindness, who chooses to see the good in things and not, again, in a toxic positivity kind of way where everything is supposed to be good, where everything has to be good. No, because there is also a lot of pain that you need to process without denying it. All right. But that's a topic for another video. The small mistakes you make, forgive yourself and see the good in things. And you will become a person you love to spend time with. Imagine that. Imagine that. Somebody who is kind to you. Somebody who is there to support you and to forgive you. Imagine that. Be someone that is kind to yourself. You can use a little bit more kindness. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.